Hi, my name's Troy Rogers and I'm a youth and children's support worker at the Mirabel Foundation. The Mirabel Foundation is basically a kinship and children's charity, and what that means is that the carers who are caring for the children, they're all family members, and the reason why they're caring for their children is because of parental drug use. Since they have this unconditional love for their family members and their grandchildren, they have almost no choice but to take on these kids, otherwise who knows what sort of environment they could be in. One of my earliest memories of my childhood and of my parents was one day we were in the car. I was probably at a primary school age, and we were in the car and Mum and Dad had scored some heroin and they've used it in front of me and my brother in a car park. And that happened, not once. That had happened a few times, and yeah, it's just a bit full on to have that as an earliest memory. Some children remember kicking a football or riding a bike, but me and my brother have this quite different memory of early childhood. One night, I remember Dad was getting pretty abusive to me and Calvin, and I remember him hitting us, and he threw me on the couch, and I was just really, really scared. And I remember Nan gave me do you remember those Telstra phone credit cards for the payphone? I remember she gave me one of those when we were living with her, and I ended up on this night running away from home and using a telephone box, and her number was the only number I knew in my head off by heart, so I just called her and she picked me up that night and just stayed at her house ever since. It's just a weird thought that I was roaming the street at that age trying to get away from my home. It's a bit tough. I'm lucky that there was always someone there to, come to the house and comfort us afterwards, and that was my Nan, so she'd always been there for a long time, being that kind of guardian angel for me and my brother. And my Nan was 70 years old when I came to live with her, so she was starting to not be able to do everything that she was able to do when she was younger, so that obviously that limited our experiences as well, because she often couldn't come outside and kick the footy with me and my brother, or go swimming, that sort of thing. But yeah, Mirabel definitely gives kids those opportunities to do those more physically labouring tasks that nans and granddads can't often do. So I remember my first camp, I got to go fishing for the first time. I got to go surfing for the first time at Mirabel, go to the snow for the first time. I got to go interstate for the first time. There's just so many opportunities that I hadn't experienced before. That's one of the really special things about Mirabel, is just breaking down that isolation, I guess. I didn't have anyone in my primary school or high school that I knew of that was in the same situation, so it was pretty breathtaking going to a camp where everyone is in the same situation. It just gives you that sense of belonging and that you're not alone, and that's really amazing. For me, working with Mirabel is almost like going through a time machine, I guess, and looking at some of these young people and seeing myself and just wanting to see them have fun and let them know that they're not worthless and that they can achieve things in their life, and they don't need to worry because they got so many superheroes in their lives, like their Nan and these Mirabel workers. And I just want to see them thrive and have fun and smile. Sometimes I'm asked to do the support groups with some of the carers, and that's pretty special because I get asked to introduce myself, and I say, "Hi, I'm Troy from Mirabel. I used to be a Mirabel kid," and these carers just berate me with questions, and they're like, "What's it like? How you so what was it like? Were you an angry kid? What?" And they ask me advice about what their grandchild or niece or nephew has been experiencing, and I think that's a really unique thing for them, because I think it's a first, to see an adult that like their kid is. So I think that's, yeah, it can be pretty special. The Mirabel Foundation relies heavily on the community and people involved. I mean, on a camp we might have 4 or 5 staff members, but without the 25 volunteers that are giving up their time, we wouldn't be able to do these things. And without the generous donations from all sorts of different people, we wouldn't be able to operate and pay our staff, pay activities, book camps. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without all the generosity of the different people out there. My hope for future Mirabel kids is for them to feel loved and feel like they're worth something, and for them they matter.